Stream. Welcome, my friend. What are we doing?
What's up, buddy? Good.
We bring our sniper, Sheldon. That
What's
is
up?
Sniper.
What's up?
Sniper, how are you?
What's up? I'm doing well, and you? What's up, guys? What's up, buddy?
Sniper, how are you, brother?
What's up, buddy? I'm good, and you? Sorry. What's up, guys? What's up?
Hey, Sniper, how are you?
What's up, buddy? I'm good. I'm very happy today.
Sniper.
Wow. What's up?
Well, I can see that there is something up. I mean, that's that green candle. But when I look at my Bitcoin chart, I don't see any green candle. What the hell is that green candle? Why is it important?
BTC shorts, buddy. And I think this is such a, we had our Freddie the man bring up some great data for us this morning as well to start to look at a bit of different options while we're waiting for price to do what it needs to do. And I think this is also something that's big that you add to your portfolio on things we need to look at when we're in these sort of stages in the market. And this is the BTC shorts. And right now, it looks like majority are betting on Bitcoin going down. So
well, that's a massive story. This is the open shorts position. Sheldon, zoom out a little bit. Let's see how long the shorts haven't been this high for.
This is all-time high, buddy. This is just below. There we go. Not all-time high, but the previous high this year, yeah. In the last 2 years, yeah.
Okay, now go back to March 2020 when the shorts were at an all-time high. And pull up the Bitcoin chart for the same time frame. Let's see what happened to Bitcoin straight after the shorts were at an all-time high. So
awesome. Well, I think while I set that up, let's get our strong likes going from everyone. I think let's get that going while I set this all up quickly.
So while Sheldon's looking for the chart, welcome to our channel, CryptoBanker.com. This is the richest community in the crypto universe. I'm Crypto Man Ran. That's my sniper, Sheldon. Every day we bring you fundamentals and technicals to make sure that you don't land up with these. Yeah, if you don't subscribe to our channel, then the only message we've got for you is have fun staying poor. I'm not going to tell you all the reasons why you need to subscribe to our channel, but I am going to tell you that we are running Sniper School every Monday. It's our test of our Sniper School. We're putting 20 people into Sniper School. It's a lot of fun. And to get into Sniper School, you need to go to my Twitter at CryptoManRan, to Sheldon's Twitter at Sheldon Sniper. And then you need to go onto our Instagram because that's where we select the winners for Sniper School. And now we are focusing a lot on Sniper School. A lot on Sniper School. Okay, so I want to get into these shows much quicker. I think we waste a lot of time in the beginning. So let's look at what happened when the open shorts went to the all-time high.
Yeah, so we can have a look here. Previously on the 14th, this one did not, and this is where we have two sort of scenarios that are playing out now. So firstly, one thing we've learned in crypto is when the herd is running the one way, you need to be running the other. But this is also where they can be very sneaky on this next move from Bitcoin, where they can make the whole world, they're all betting on it going down. They can quickly reverse that. They can make Bitcoin seem like it's going up, liquidate the shorts, and then actually go down again. There's a lot of two different scenarios, and I think that's why it's important for us to having a look at this, because the last time that we got this basic all-time high, I think it was sitting at around about, it was after a dump. So if we have a look here, yeah, so Bitcoin dumped first. Once Bitcoin dumped and it went all the way down to the bottom, you can see this was the 12th. All of a sudden, and this is exactly what we've experienced the last few days, all of a sudden the betting on the shorts went absolutely high because they obviously thought, I remember when Bitcoin dumped last year to 4,000 or somewhere in that region, I remember everyone was saying Bitcoin's going to 1,000. And once that happened, and I brought this whole big FOMO into it, and we could see that the shorts all of a sudden went massively high by the 17th of March. This was after the dump, guys. The 17th of March, we were at an all-time high for the shorts, meaning that they were predicting that Bitcoin was going to continue to the downward side. Is this not sort of similar to where we're sitting now in the charts now, where we've had a massive dump off and people are thinking that it's going to go lower? Everyone's saying it's going to go lower. And now, after the dump off's already happened, Now, all of a sudden, the all-time high of the shorts are appearing and all of these big bets on the shorts happening. And what happened after that? Previously, we never had a big thing of shorts sitting there. Now, when last year, I think it was the 17th, there we go, the 17th, everyone was predicting it was going to go down. And what happened to price? Price went up.
The shorts got liquidated. The shorts got absolutely liquidated. Now, I want to just explain a short liquidation to people and why a short squeeze is an event that we're looking out for. So what is a short? A short is when you sell a Bitcoin that you don't own. You sell it and you buy it back cheaper. So you sell a Bitcoin for $50,000 and you don't own the Bitcoin, you borrow a Bitcoin and you buy the same Bitcoin back for $40,000 and you make $10,000 profit. So you borrow a Bitcoin. So let's just say that Sheldon has a Bitcoin and I want a short Bitcoin. I borrow the Bitcoin from Sheldon. I sell it for $50,000 and I've got $50,000 cash in my hand because I've borrowed this coin from Sheldon. And
you're predicting it's going to go down. Yeah.
I then buy the Bitcoin back at 40,000. I give Sheldon back his Bitcoin and I've got $10,000 left over. That's a short. When there are a lot of people short, like now, and the price spikes, they all lose money. And as they start to lose money, they start to buy Bitcoin to cover their positions. And they start to panic buy Bitcoin. So usually the highest short part is covered by the biggest price rise, because short sellers start to cover their positions so they don't lose any money. And so that is what could happen now. Let's look at the chart as at now.
Where we're sitting now. Yeah. And I think a very clear thing now. So if we have a look at where we are now, guys, obviously we've had the big rally from Bitcoin. Let's just get that to where we are. Okay. Now, does this not look very similar to what we just saw now from the March drop last year? That all of a sudden, the shorts are sitting at such a high, the prediction of everyone's thinking Bitcoin's going to go down after the dump. You know, you would actually expect this to be happening in this range when everything is just rallying. That would be the normal understanding of a trader or anything like that. But now we've already dumped and we've already 60% cheaper or 50% cheaper than what we were. And now all of a sudden the shorts are going even higher, which means they're predicting Bitcoin to go lower. They're all saying, and that's exactly what happened last year, March, where Bitcoin already fell to $4,000. And then all of a sudden the shorts went it started recovering to about $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And then everyone went absolutely berserk to say, no, now we're going to go to $1,000. And what happened? Since then, Bitcoin never went back to $4,000. And we're sort of sitting it's a very similar situation where we're sitting at right now, where we've already had, I don't get this. I don't get why the shorts are at such a high when we've already had 50% dump off in the market. I'm not sure what you think, Rad.
I'll tell you why, because the sentiment, who's opening the shorts? It's the herd. And the herd sentiment is that the herd follow the sentiment, right? Go to the BTC short position on Bybit. So this is the short position on Bitfinex. Let's look at it on BitMEX and on Bybit, and let's see if all the exchanges have short positions, high short positions, or whether it's Bitfinex leading the charge here.
I just want to see where it is. It's BTC, USD shorts, Bybit.
Bybit, perpetual contract. There we go.
There we go.
Perpetual, so it won't show you open interest.
No, it won't. It won't. So I don't think we can get it here, right?
Okay, but so let's use that as an indicator of shorts. Guys, I see there's only 10,000 people here. Usually by now we've got like 15,000 people. Smash the like. Let's get everybody back on the stream. And then in the comments, tell us whether you think there's going to be a short squeeze or whether this is going to be just another dump. Up. So basically tell us if the market's going up or down because of this short squeeze. Sheldon, let's look at Bitcoin because it's still accumulating. I mean, accumulating.
Let me get rid of this one over here, get back to the normal. Yeah, so Bitcoin, so obviously we're at that very, very crucial stage that we were chatting about yesterday, that Bitcoin is basically sitting, let's just get the right charts. There we go. So Bitcoin is sitting at that trend line. There it is, very clear. We can see this trend line that we're playing in. And yesterday we were saying, we started breaking that trend. We need that higher high first, and we're rather buying the confirmation buy. And then in my opinion, that is still the sort of strategy that we're still looking for. You know, we've had to learn to be a little bit patient in the zone. The guys that are impatient are the ones that are getting killed. You're losing money. And we've had to be a lot more patient in this level just to make sure where we're sitting. And right now, The only thing is we're still not out of that trend, and we still haven't smashed that higher high just yet. So this sort of painting a picture for me to see now that the shorts are sitting at all-time, well, they're sitting at a very high point that everyone's predicting is going to go down. We're at a point where this is rejection. But this is where I know where they catch the herd and where when everyone is running one direction, you must run the complete opposite. And this might just be exactly what we need to finally get Bitcoin back on track. To get that push up there, liquidate the shorts. So remember their game plan now. Half of the market are predicting it's going to go down now, right? Or a lot of the people are predicting it's going to go down. Now they send Bitcoin to 42,000 or 44,000. They liquidate all of those predictions. Now they're all going to go long, right? So what do? For a short interim,
they're going to buy.
They buy, but then what does the price do? The price goes down. And no. So it first goes up, it liquidates the shorts. Then they get annoyed. Now they go to a long. Okay, then it has a small pullback back down, and it liquidates the longs, and then they continue things. So what I'm basically meaning by here is, let me get my drawing tool. This is what makes sense for Bitcoin right now. Is for us to shoot up, liquidate the shorts, then everyone's going to go long, send it back down, test our trend line, liquidate the longs, send Bitcoin up. Now what has that done? That's literally flushed out two massive rolls. And this is where now I then see us. It's quite a game right now that they're playing with the people's emotions again. It's literally a game for them right now. And you know what? I know it may seem that the majority of the market are predicting it to go down, but we actually need that. We need that for Bitcoin to actually have a point to prove and for something to actually finally get it above. There's the low, the high, there's the high, there's the high. Since this whole dump has happened, and since we've gone 2 months already in the zone, we haven't gotten a higher high on a 4-hour, 8-hour chart to the previous highs that we've made. So this is what we possibly need to finally get Bitcoin on track. I'm not sure what you're thinking, Ran.
I want to be positive. I think there may be a short squeeze. I think there may be a short squeeze. And I think we'll come down and retest, and then maybe go up. But we need momentum. I think right now the biggest problem is we don't have any momentum. We don't have up momentum, and we don't have down momentum. We're at a real balancing point, this real accumulation point where Bitcoin's going between 30 and 40,000, and it's just going to carry on going between 30 and 40,000 until something happens. I think if we get another leg down, it's going to be a very quick leg down and then up again. Exactly what we saw, went down to 32, went back up. I think if we go up, it's going to be a steady climb up.
To be honest, what I'm thinking is Bitcoin's going to grow slow for the next month, 2 months. It's going to be a gradual growth. The same way the March drop happened last year, where we had the big drop off. Go back there. But it took about 2 months.
Yeah.
Let's go there. It took about 2 months to finally recover out from that big drop. So where's the March drop? There we go. So you could see here clearly, this was the biggest drop percentage-wise we've ever received, right? Now look at that. This is what I'm seeing here at the sort of zone.
How many days from top until we retested the top again?
Okay, from bottom to the top again, to the previous highs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go from top to top. So let's say when we started dropping. So let's go from there.
Okay, we started dropping 6th of March. Okay.
No, we started dropping before that. You see the peak before that.
There we go. Okay. So call it from the top. Okay, let's go to the 13th of Feb. And the next time we got that was June, the 1st of June.
Now look at this correction. I suspect that it's going to be about the same time frame.
100%. It's going to be a gradual growth. It can't just be just just get back to where it was. Yeah. But this is exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that little bit of growth to come in. Now, all that we're doing is saying, when are we getting to that point where we can buy now and hold for the next 2-3 months? To get these positions, yes, we have majority of the people thinking it's time to short. Everyone's in the shorts right now. Everything's that sort of region. And in my opinion, we haven't had these highs in the shorts for such a long time. It's sort of what we need. The guys want to make money. The exchanges want to make money, right? This is the only way. So for them, for us being so much volume for the first time or at these highs for this, they're going to make money. If they send this price to 42,000 now, the exchanges are going to make a ton of money. And it needs to be worthy of them for that to start happening. So where we're sitting off now, it's reminding me very much of the last year drop, and it's reminding me that Bitcoin is going to have this slow little growth that can take 2 months, 3 months, and get us back to that 60K sort of region. But obviously, we do have that, everyone is predicting down. It's quite tricky now. And the main thing that we do need is the break of this trend. The break of the trend, the higher high, is going to give us that good confirmation, liquidate the shorts, come back down, test and get back in. So I don't know where you're still sitting with everything right now, Rand. We're still sitting in a good amount of cash because of the stoppage. And with that, this, in my opinion, is still my safe buy, is to rather let it get that higher high. We can't chase now to get in now. The problem is we are still in under that trend line. So if those shorts do play out, this is rejection point. This is where Bitcoin's going to come down again and come test these lows again. We've got to be very realistic with that if it plays out. But I got a feeling that the exchanges are going to play with this. They want to make money.
I think that the best trade now is the nothing trade. Do nothing. Do nothing. Like they say that, traders get the impression that you sit in front of your screen all day and you trade. No, 80% of the time you do nothing. 80% of the time, do nothing. And I think now is the nothing trade. Wait for a breakout, wait for some direction either way, and then we decide.
And it's like in this time, at least you're starting to understand what we actually need from these markets to be playing out. And that makes sense. I'd rather get those shorts liquidated. We know exactly that when we do get the liquidation of those shorts, they're all going to go long. All the guys that they are upset with the market now. They're pissed off. They're not happy. And they're going to now want revenge on the market. When you trade back for that market and you trade back to the market, you take revenge on the market. What does it do? You're going to go long and it's going to come crashing straight back down again. And that's the weakness bias. So what we are actually going to do is everyone's predicting the market's going to go down. We want that strong push up right now, okay? Get it to 40, 42,000. And then they're all going to go long and the fear is going to come in and we are literally going to buy back into the people's fear. And from that, we can then start laddering our way up. And from this, I don't see Bitcoin just shooting straight up like that, guys. It's going to be this. It's going to be that slow little bit of growth because let's have a look and let's go see where we're sitting with dominance. And we can see that dominance
creeping up.
For the first time ever in a long time, well, not ever, but the first time in 2-3 months, we've got the higher low. Now we're getting the higher highs again. So if this is making sense at any point, to just keep creeping up, we're going to see the big final level to see if we do. Then we know it's Bitcoin for the next 3 months. We'll have a look to see where we're sitting at right now. When we get to those points. But the dominance is strong. The dominance is with Bitcoin. And that's a big sign. And having a look at Ethereum dominance, it's not there right now. Ethereum dominance is at that point where Ethereum dominance is looking weak. It's Bitcoin time. And we'll get that clear indication that if we jump to Ethereum BTC, you can see there very clearly. That the money that's getting pulled out of Ethereum is going into Bitcoin.
Based on this chart, what you're going to probably expect here is a lower low. So you'll probably expect a lower low on this chart and a higher high on the Bitcoin chart. On the
100%.
Yeah.
And this was already the weakness, the fact that we didn't get that high there. So that was already the warning sign that we're starting to make our way up. And now what we do have is, if I take through here, I do have that trend. So we are right there now. So this will give us that good indication, which means that if Bitcoin, I sort of got a feeling, if Bitcoin does go for that 42 now, or goes for that 40, that little push upwards, this dominance is actually going to come down for a little while because it's a short term. It's not a where we go to 50K right now. It's going to be a short term, which means that the dominance is going to have a small drop. We're going to have a small bounce in Ethereum dominance to the upward side, and which means the alts are going to have a nice little run with Bitcoin to that level now. And from that, remember, we know the main understanding now of the charts. Bitcoin going up, dominance going up. Now, if Bitcoin all of a sudden goes up and dominance comes down, we know that bigger picture, that's not how this is not the pattern that's working, which means it's short term. If something is not correlating to the higher time frames, it means it's short term. It means it's not a long-term thing, which means don't be surprised to see a short-term pump from these alts with Bitcoin. And then the pullback, and then we're going to continue the normal system that we're running in.
Yeah.
And having a look at that total, the total is still far off from where it needs to be. So will this be with Bitcoin to the 42, that final level? Will this be what finally gives us what we need to get that higher point? Because we need the total market cap to also start showing us fight.
Sheldon, draw the other side of that triangle, and you'll see that I think it's almost time for Bitcoin for the market to make a move. You see, I think there's there's still a bit of a way for the market before it actually needs to make a move. And I think it's going to just move sideways for a while until it actually eventually breaks out one way or the other.
Yeah, the problem is what they do know is a lot of people run off. Every single trader that I know out there right now is running off of this trend line, which means the masses are looking at this trend line, which means that we're at such a critical point. They're not going to leave it here too long. This is where something is going to happen dramatically at either sort of way. They know the whole world is watching this damn trend line. And that's when I see when they know that everyone is relying on this trend line, that's exactly what happened the other day. Well, yesterday.
Yes.
There's the fake out. As soon as we get the breakout, there's the fake out. When we had this one, this was a fake out. They know the whole world's watching this damn thing. So, my opinion, either this will be a small fake out. I'm happy to still be in the cash right now. Yeah. And with cash, I'd rather have the higher high, stock up there, than to try buy this breakout right now, because what happens if it turns out to a fake out? And the last fake out, this was the result of that fake out. And it literally caught everyone left-handed. It will literally just smashed everyone very, very quickly. So, yeah, it's quite an interesting week. And I know it's a little bit boring. And I think, you know, we can see with the views, we can see everyone it's a bit of shut-off time right now. But it's still very important to keep your eyes on the market, understand every day where we're sitting. You have to be dedicated and read with us every day. It's just, you are going to learn the Ethereum dominance, the Bitcoin dominance, total market cap, Bitcoin dominance. You're going to learn everything that comes in to understand in the market. There's so many different segments, and now you've just learned today that the shorts is a big thing. I feel a big movement is coming, and I don't know if it's going to be this weekend, but I do feel a big move's coming, and I'm happy to rather buy the retest to make sure, because this could be a downward side. It could. I'm not saying it is, but it could. We don't have that higher highs just yet.
You know what I like to do during these boring times, Sheldon? I like to chart Tether.
Mm-hmm.
Just chart Tether, you can see. Just go to the USDT chart, the Tether price chart.
You get it, yeah? What is it? This one?
I'm cracking. USDT, USD.
There we go.
You can see, I mean, there's been a lot of action with Tether. It's gone from 1 to 1.01. I mean, it's such a boring market. This is what the rest of the market looks like. Nothing moves. Nothing moves. It doesn't.
Literally,
it doesn't move. It doesn't move. It's a waste of time. No, I mean, look, I think in this market, the best thing to do is just wait for direction. You don't want to be caught on the way down, and I think you want to catch the way up. And I think the best way to do it is to just wait for the break of trend. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else to look for in this market. There's nothing happening.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is, I'm not even buying the breaker trend. I'm buying the retest, because the breaker trend, we've just had fake out. Look at Ethereum, guys. Ethereum's done absolutely zero right now. Does that look anywhere from a reversal right now? So we can see very clearly that it's Bitcoin time, because none of the alts are really, I see that's following that nicely, but none of the alts are really getting anything that they need to get out of the market just yet. So the one that is, this is one that if Bitcoin gets a strong breakout, the retest will be really good, is BNB. It's one that's showing us a nice structure on where we're sitting right now. So this is a good one that we are going to be keeping eyes on, and a trade that will be coming as long as we just confirm that higher high. BNB is good. Link absolutely weak. Solana is starting to show a little bit of weakness, but we're still good. Kusama, this is one. I know we spoke about it yesterday, Rand. We need to see obviously where we are in the market, but we're getting there. So if Bitcoin does get to those points, Kusama is on special from the highs that it was at yesterday. So it's at 15% special.
I think the better trade is DOT. If you want to get into the Kusama ecosystem, rather get into DOT, because Kusama's already had its run. And we could see yesterday, I tweeted something yesterday about the number of Kusama being locked up in projects for the parachains. A lot of people don't understand how the parachain works. But how the parachains work is that the crowd, people like me and you, if we want to support the project, we have to buy Kusama on the open market. We have to lend it to the project that is bidding at the auction, and they lock up our Kusama. And the more support that these projects have got, the more. In fact, let me show it to you by way of example. So I tweeted this yesterday. Let me try and find it for you guys. I'd love to. Fred he prostitutes my whole Twitter feed with posts. I don't know why he does that. Okay, so let me share my.
What's up?
Sorry. Hi, Fred.
Hey, bro.
You're killing my Twitter again. Hold on, let me find. You see, this is what my Twitter looks like. Let's see. One Tyler Sheldon. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, so my Twitter looks like this. It's a sad state of affairs. One tile of Sheldon. Two tiles of Sheldon. 4 tiles of Sheldon. 5 tiles. Fred, you don't have to tell them every 15 minutes. I promise you, if you tell them twice, it's also good. Okay, so let's look at this. This is a super important chart. So why? This shows the projects that are bidding to become Kusama parachains in the first auction. And what you can see is that the main one, the leading one, is a project called Karura, which is a DeFi project on Kusama. And for that one, 226,000 Kusama have been locked up. Okay, now what would happen is people like me and you would buy Kusama on the open market. We would give it to Karura, who would lock it up, taking the Kusama out of circulation. And then what you can see is that clearly now Karura is in the lead for the Kusama parachains. And if it stays in the lead, then our Kusama will remain locked up in Karura. So why is that such an important metric? Let me show you why that's such an important metric. Because if you look at the number of Kusama in circulation, and this is what I want to show you guys, this is what most people don't understand. Let's look at Kusama. This is the beauty of parachains. This is why parachains are so important. There's only 8 million Kusama in circulation today, 8,980,000. And you can see, so let me just show you that. So, and you can see that of those 8 million, 226,000 are now locked up in the first parachain. So it's just taking more and more and more Kusama off the market.
Sure, that's
now
good.
Now imagine 100 parachains, all bidding for the auction. Basically, all the Kusama is just going to be locked up. And there's a maximum supply of 10 million Kusama. So that's why Kusama is so important. But I think right now, I think you may have missed Kusama. Wait for the same thing to happen on Polkadot. That's what's going to happen. So again, a good long-term safe bet, Kusama, Polkadot. I don't think you can lose much.
Yeah, but so I see Bitcoin's making that attempt. I see it's making that attempt. So let's see how that goes. I know there's a lot of guys that will jump these trades as well. So, I'm not going to sit and say I'm going to personally waiting for the retest, and that's what I'm getting is strong because I have a structured stop loss. I know the key areas. But if you are going to jump into trades now, guys, we can see that dominance is starting to look to turn down, and it looks like Bitcoin's going to break. So we are looking at a little pump. Just make sure you are putting those stop losses and use these previous lows as your stop loss points. Because at any point, if it is a fake out, we're coming down again. And we can see this very clearly, as much as we don't, that this has been trailing to the downward side. We have a downwards channel that's been forming. So at any point, it can come down to support again, and then the breakout. So just be aware. There are some little trades to be taking. These are very small percentages of your portfolio if you just want to keep a bit busy. I never tell you not to practice. It's always good to practice. So if you want to take 5% or 2% of your capital and practice through these trades, definitely, because a breakout trade is a very powerful strategy. We just obviously had a very choppy part in the market. And I think to add to that, Rand, there's not much, buddy. There's not much until what I do want to say, though, is if Bitcoin breaks that and it goes to 40,000 or 42,000, I'll be doing a live stream on the weekend. If it falls down and we get rejected, I'll be doing a live stream on the weekend.
I'll be right with you as long as you don't make it 4:45 in the morning. Sheldon, because
it'll be a little bit later.
Because it's such a quiet day and there's so little happening on the market today, let's take some super chats. We don't give our super chats enough time. So if there are super chats, I saw one that said, please tell us what EGLD looks like. Sheldon, let's look at EGLD.
No problem, buddy. And then, Rand, how are we looking for our positions for Monday?
So the Sniper School for Monday is full. And on Monday, we'll open the Sniper School for the following Monday. I must tell you, Sniper School is looking fucking amazing. It is. I think what we want to do is, we will do a few of these small sessions, and then we'll do one bigger session. And then what we're going to try and do is do the biggest school class ever done in the world. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get hold of the Guinness Book of Records and find out what the biggest virtual school class has been in the world, and then try and beat it. So whatever.
I love that.
Whatever it is, I actually want to set a Guinness World Book of Records for the biggest class in the world, and do a Sniper School class. I think the number's around 5,000. So I think what we're going to try and do is get more than 5,000 people into a sniper school class and break the World Book of Records.
Sweet. I love that. I love that. I love that. So EGLD, guys, that's in accumulation phase. So this is where, especially I'm talking investors, traders need to be a bit more patient for breakouts. But for investors, buy the dip strategy. Definitely. This is accumulation. We've just come off a big move. We haven't had any upward side just yet, which means we are at some point going to go test these imbalance zones. So buy the dip strategy. Any strong dip that's come, we've just had a decent one during yesterday. So anywhere in these zones are good buys. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, little bits, little bits, little bits, little bits. And then obviously just be patient. But EGLD, it's accumulating for the next move.
Okay, then the next question is, what format will Sniper School be in final release? I understand it's hard to get on, but always want to learn. So final release, we're going to take on classes which are personal enough for us to be able to guide every single one of you guys with it. And then remember, we are a big team. So there's about 10 of us on the team that are going to help you through Sniper School. But it's not going to be big enough to be impersonal. So I guess probably 100 to 200 people every class. That's more or less where we're going to be. I also want to talk about something else which not enough people talk about. And I want to just get it up onto my screen here. But people complain that the market's boring. And the market is boring. But crypto is the one place where even when the market is boring, you can make life-changing returns. Like serious life-changing returns. And I want to show you what I mean. So you don't only have to make money on the markets. There are a lot of opportunities to make huge money staking coins and even staking stable coins, guys. Like, there are risks in staking and you've got to understand exactly what the risks are. But I want to show you something. I'm just going to give you one example. There are many examples, but I just want to show you one example. I'm not showing you this example because I want you to do it, but this is just because this is where I'm farming. But if you look here, so I'm going to just quickly zoom in so everybody can see. But this is the beauty of crypto, that even in a bear market, even in a boring market, you can still make, if you stake Luna and DeFi, you can make 556% a year. If you just stake USD, you just stake USD, you can make 80% a year. If you want to stake DeFi and USD, you can make 491% a year.
Ran, I think we've got to add a lot more of this into it. It's so powerful for if you've got long-term investors holding and that. Stake them, guys. You're earning coins. Why is it sitting in a random thing and it's just not doing anything for you? There's some really good returns. So.
This is exactly what I'm doing. Like right now, to be honest, I'm not making much money on the trading and on the investing, but I'm taking all my good investments and I'm staking them and I'm making bombs of money, like more money than I was making on the trading. All I do, I go to farms, yield farms, and I look for great.
So what is that Luna? It's sitting at 550%. That's huge, buddy. That's what, 40% a month right now.
So it's actually much more than that. And I'll tell you why. Because you earn your returns in DeFi. And because the DeFi price is down, when it goes up, that yield is much better. But what I want to say to you guys here, the more important part of what I want to say to you here is, you can also stake without impermanent loss. So look at the UST pairs, USD pairs. You get 80%. There's no impermanent loss in USD. So right now, my attention is much more on farming. So where can I farm and make good yield? You obviously have to know what you're doing, and we're going to start spending more time with you guys.
It's a brilliant strategy around, especially in times like this. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. Next week, we'll focus on, I've got a killer week. Number one, I've got the CTO of IOHK coming on the show. He's the guy that actually codes with Charles in the back end. He's the tech guy. Then we'll talk about yields. We'll talk about how to farm yields. I also want to show you guys something because I'm super excited. So the new range of Banter merchandise is coming out. That's the Crypto Man Ran shirt. The Sheldon shirts are also starting to come out. Have a look at that.
Oh, awesome, buddy.
How cool is that with our new look and feel? I don't know if you guys can see that. That is the Crypto Man Ran shirt. The Sheldon shirt is the same, but it's got Sheldon's thing on it with the sniper through his eye. So, I mean, obviously we'll never sell these. We'll just give them away. We'll just keep giving them away on the show next week.
Awesome. And I think the last thing that we must do is obviously remember what we said, because I have a very powerful, it's just that we're very boring today, but on Monday, I want to do that portfolio little system. That's definitely Monday's call there. And then I think what we were saying was, what percentage do we buy Kusama and we buy all these big platforms, and what percentage do we buy the projects under them? I think that's a huge one, man. We
And
got to.
I wanted to do that yesterday, but we didn't do it yesterday.
Let's do it next week.
Monday, Tuesday, we'll start building portfolios. We'll start building. The reason why I didn't want to do it is because I don't want people building portfolios now. I'm scared that we'll show it to them and then they'll go and buy it now. And if they do buy it now, there could be another leg down. I'm not saying there will be. I'm saying there could be. I'd rather wait for some direction in the market. And then as the direction hits, then teach the guys exactly what to buy with that direction. You know what I mean?
Well, then we don't go into specifics on any coins. We just teach the structure. That when it's time to be getting in, these are the percentages we're going in a certain thing. I think that's the best time that we can do this, Rand. The markets are damn boring. What else must we do? Let's teach these schools their structure.
I don't know about you. I'm going to the beach.
Yeah, I may as well.
I'm going to go
guys, have a good day.
Getting my can on. A reminder. Fred, usually in the mornings here, what we do is we put up the banter tile. Just want to remind you, we put up the banter tile that they know that there's a massive banter coming up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You ran away there. Yeah. Shame. It's not looking good for Freddie's dad. His dad took a turn for the worse last night, unfortunately. So yeah, big prayers for Freddie's dad. We need him to come out of this, man. We need him to come out of this. All right, so later on today, Friday today. What are we doing Friday? Massive banter. So you all know that I'm very, very, very fond of Peter McCormack. So yeah, Peter McCormack's on today. Winston Wolf, Elio Trades, Mr. Biz, and we got Jason Pizinos, who runs his own channel as well. So big Friday banter today. Yeah, we'll see you guys all again later. Until then, please, prayers for Fred's dad. Prayers for Fred's dad, guys. He took a turn yesterday. We need him back. Feel bad for Freddie, man. I speak to Freddie in my heart.
We're here for you, buddy. We're always here for you.
The whole banter family is here for you, my man. The whole banter family is here for you. Support you. We're all praying for you. We want your dad. We want your dad back, man. We want him back. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Until then, if you're trading, trade well, my friend.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.